Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today I'm going to be doing stages 51 to 56 of the Fanhome release and build the Jeff Gordon Chevrolet Monte Carlo. I don't even know what pack number this is now, but I've actually got 2 packs down here. And I think I've got 2 packs here as well. I'm really behind on this build, so I really need to get cracking on this big time. Obviously, this is where we're up to at the moment. We've done, well, the floor pan, the engine's mounted and stuff like that. So all the exhausts are in. I think we might be doing some more on the exhaust today. Let me just gently put that down. I don't know if this is still available. I have put a link in the video description. And once again, you do have all the QR codes for all the builds on my channel, including my Amazon store and my merch store. But without further ado, let's get cracking. So let's see what we're doing today. Stage 51 first. Here is the instructions. And we're doing the parcel tray panel, which looks just like this. Lots of screws here. We're going to be putting this over the top of the fill filler that we put in here. Putting these bits together looks like quite a lot to do actually. So at the end, that's how that's looking. This is actually going to pin this into place, because if you have a look at this at the moment, this is loose, as you can see. So here we go. Here's all the parts for stage 51. And the first thing I'm going to do is going to be putting this rack in here. It needs to be this way round with these pointing up. When I put this in, I want this hose to be on the outside of this. So let's just figure this out. This is going to be going in kind of like this, which means all of these parts, God, this is going to be difficult, need to come out the center section here. Now I'm lining up the screw holes that we've got on each side here, because we are going to be putting this in with some screws. And these are going to be JM screws. So this is the last screw going in here, and you can see all 3 of these pipes are coming out through the center square here. Center rectangle, should I say. Now I want to connect the other side of this pipe to this point up here. So I'm going to put that in now. Excellent. And now I can just put that to one side and bring over this part that we were working on in the last pack. And basically we've got these metal braces to put in, and they are labeled left and right. So I'm holding the left one here, and what's going to happen is these are going to be going on top just like that there. And they're held in with EP screws. So one going in there. And we'll be doing the same on the other side with another EP screw just going in here. So that is how that looks. So I can now fit this rear subframe in, and it's going to be going onto the points just down the bottom here. So I'm making sure I'm not trapping anything, which means I do need to put this filler pipe through here like that. And then just make sure that this settles down. Just move this pipe as well into place. That's looking good. Excellent. And I'm going to be putting this in from the other side. So I'm just turning this upside down. And in the 3 holes here, we're going to be using EP screws. And I need 3 of those. All the rest of the screws that I'm putting this in with are CM screws. So I have put these in a little bit of oil. Basically they're going in the positions just here and just at the back here, and then just do the same on the other side, and there you go. That is in place, nice and locked in there. All that's left to do then is to put this top plate in. I'm going to put these parts in first, and these are going in with AP screws. So it is going to be 2 on each side. That's looking good. And then I've got some AM screws, which is just going to be putting these back sections onto here. And there you go. With that in place, that is all there is to do in that stage. That was quite an involved stage there. Stage 52. Here is the instructions. And we've got bit of the frame here, the rear clip lower subframe, and some chains here. So we're going to be attaching these chains to the subframe. So now that's looking like that. And this is what that looks like. Nice big pack, this one. Get this open. This is what that subframe piece is looking like. I could put that to one side though, because it's the chains that we're interested in. And basically I'm going to be putting these into the middle hole of this bracket here. Kind of like that. I'm holding them in with AFM screws, which I've got here. This is metal. All of this is metal. So once this flange screw goes in here, this shouldn't be able to go anywhere. There you go. That's one chain into position now. And I'll do the same on the other side. And that's one chain in there as well. Now these are going to be going into place on the subframe. So I'll be having this one on that side. And this one's going to be going on this side over here. Just making the chains go over the top. And to hold these in, I'm doing that with CM screws. It's going to take 2 each side. So I will get all of these in. This is the last one going in here with that in place. That's all there is to do in that stage. So stage 53. Here's the instructions. And we've got the rear brake line. Looks like we're fitting this together to that subframe that we've been working on, and we are cutting down some of this pipe. So now that's looking like that. Always get nervous when I see that we're working with pipes. Okay, so we're going to bring over this subframe again, and we have got a support bar that we're going to be putting into place. So basically when we put this on, this is actually going to be going on this way. So this is actually going to be passing underneath there. Now I'm holding it in with an ABM screw, and you can see what little challenge this one's going to cause now, because once this is in, which I'm just going to get in now, I've actually threaded this first. It's going to make it a lot easier to get this in. That was quite tricky to put in, I have to say, but that's how it should look when it's in. Okay, put that to one side. Okay, we've got this little brake section here and a fitting to put on the end. It actually goes in this way, so if I just push that in, gives you an idea of how that looks. And I'm going to do the same on the other side here. So I'm going to be putting these into place. So what we've got this way round, this is the left side, and that's going to be going in here like this. I'm just pushing that into position. It is a tight fit, as you can see there. I'm going to put the right hand side one in as well. It's such a tight fit that, you know what, you don't even need to screw these in, but I will be. I'm holding them in with AM screws. So I've got this connector here now, which is going to go in a completely different place to everything else. I'm bringing the car back over now, because this is actually going to be going into the position just here. Hopefully one of the cameras can see it, but it's going to be held in with an AP screw from the other side. This is going to be tricky. So probably best to put it on its side like this. I don't know if the top camera can see this. And I can get this in from here. There you go. That is in place there. Now, this wire here, I'm going to need 50mm and a 60mm. So, each square here of my cutting mat is 1 centimetre. And that's my 60. We actually need 2 lots of these. So once again, so we've got 250 and 260mm. So bringing this back over, the 60mm are going to be going into here. I'm probably going to put some glue in here to hold these into place. Using my tweezers here to help guide this in. The glue's going to keep that in. So that's the 2 60mm in place. And then the 50mm ones are going to be coming out of the tops here. So again, just put some glue in here. And I'll get these in. Perfect. So that's how they should look when they're both in place. That's all there is to do in that stage. So, stage 54. Here's the instructions. And we've got part of the drive shaft now, so this is going to be a quick stage. We're actually just putting this together. We do get to fit this into the car as well, like that. So let's just get this section open. And the first thing we want to do is we want to place this way round. You've got a long arm and a short arm. The long arms are what's going to go between these 2 points here of the drive shaft. Now they're going to be held in with AP screws. Always a challenge to get this first one in, but I have managed it. And put one in the other side. This is creating a universal joint. That's perfect. Then I've got the other side to put on here, which just goes on here like this. Once again, AP screws to hold that into place. Perfect. So, got the universal joint into place. It now means I can actually put these two parts here together, and they just clip in like this. Excellent. So we have a drive shaft. Let's bring over the car again. We're going to be putting this into place. So basically this is going to be going onto the back of the transmission where there is already a universal joint waiting for us. And what we have to do is rotate it round, because we're going to need to put a screw in here to hold this into place. But we can only access it through the top here. So we get one in this side, just between the exhaust here, and then we turn it round and we get the one in the other side like this. So as you can see, that is now attached to the gearbox. And with that done, that's all there is to do in that stage. So penultimate stage of this pack, stage 55, is the instructions. And we now got the upper rear axle housing, which we're going to create looking like this. This is very heavy. Something's metal in here. There it is. So this is the differential pump housing here. I've got a little detail to put in here first, which is a connector pipe, which actually just goes in here. So this is coming out like that. I want to put this together onto this axle here. So I have got the two holes here lined up. I'm holding them in with AM screws. When it comes to 1.8 cars, this is definitely one of the most detailed you're going to get. It's up there with the Ferrari 330. There we go. That's in place. I'll put that to one side. I now need this bracket here looking like this. I've got another pipe that's going in, so I've got some locating lugs here to help guide this into the position it needs to go, like that. But this is going to be held in from the other side with an AP screw, so it's going to stop that going anywhere. To be honest with you, it probably doesn't need this AP screw in here, because it does clip in quite strong, but I have put that in. Now on this end, on the other side of that, I've got a wheel to put on. And basically when I put this on, I want it on this way. So you see we've got a notch, just trying to show on the camera, there is a notch just here. I want that to be facing upwards when I put that in. And then what we've got on this one is we've got another notch, but we've got the male version of it, which is going to slot into that. So that's how I know I've lined these up properly. Just like that there. And it makes a pulley. So I want a DM screw to hold this in. So I've got that here. Let's screw that together. Very clever. There we go. And we've made a pulley on here like this. And with both of those done, that's all there is to do in that stage. So this is the last stage of that pack now, stage 56. Loads to do. And as you see, we're still working on this rear axle here. Putting this together like that. And that's the differential done by the look of it. Let's just get this open. And the first thing to do, once again, is I'm going to actually be putting this into position here. So that's this way round. I'm holding this in with AM screws. And I need two of these. I've then got some AP screws here, which I'm just going to open, because I want to take what I've just created in the last stage and put this on here just like that. I'm holding that in with these AP screws. We need 2 of these. So now that's attached. I've got a pipe here, which, you know me and pipes, this is going on to that blue section that we installed before. So I am putting a little bit of glue on this. So then that pipe's not going to come out there. All that's left to do then is to put the differential strut in, which is actually going to be going into this side here. And this is actually fitting into this point just here, like that. Now, we're not actually putting these together yet, but that's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. That was very enjoyable. Look, I've got a red band where I was wearing my glasses. Some of those parts are small, I can't see them. But I really enjoyed that. I really am enjoying this. And I still have another 3 packs to go through because I am behind on this. So I think I need to accelerate how many videos I'm putting on the channel for that. Anyway, I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.